Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Global Talks, everyone. I really hope you guys are having a wonderful time this beautiful, beautiful afternoon as we carry on with our next speaker, Mr. Roberth Barazarte. So, guys, once again, time to open your cameras and get started with this, our second Global Talk of the day. So, Robert, welcome. I hope you're having a great time. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm like shaking. There was an earthquake like 2 minutes ago here, and I live in a 11th floor. So I am a little bit like shaking right now, but I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, for all the Costa Ricans, I hope you guys are good. There was a little earthquake right around, just like Robert said it. So I hope you guys are good as well. But well, Robert, the microphone is all yours. Hopefully, we can have a wonderful, wonderful time now.
Hope so. So I will share my screen, and if you can tell me if you can see it right now. Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, super. So I'll start with me. I am Robert Barazarte. I am a cybersecurity engineer. I graduated from the Universidad Latina of Costa Rica. So for a start, how did I end up in cybersecurity? So I studied at first informatic engineer, and I like all the things like cyber attacks, how to prevent them, mainly how to prevent them. There's most people like to hack and how to do that, but I was mainly in how to prevent them. How can we prevent a cyber attack from someone? So I did this the career to cybersecurity, and my first like document was politics from a company that based in the ISO 20001 standard, where I said, what can we do? What can the company do? The roles, where can we connect? What apps can we connect to? What can we use and what we cannot? So let's start with the basic, okay, with the cybersecurity. So what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity is the practice of protecting all kind of technologies. So we have like system, the devices, the data, all kind of thing protect from the cyber attacks. And these cyber attacks are mainly digital. So, and they are because they want to modify, they want to delete, or they want just access to this data. Because this is an important data mainly for the company. So we have that cybersecurity is not only about technology. The people, the processes are also a part of this. They all complement the cybersecurity. So we can have the best technology, but if the process and the people are wrong, we cannot do anything. The technology will not help us with this. And of course, it is essential to keeping our society functioning, because nowadays we use like apps, we use the computer, the cell phone to do a lot of things that we do, like a transaction from the bank or just sending an email. So we need this security so we can make a transaction and it will go to the person that we want to, or the mail that we send will arrive to the person the user that I put. So what are the cyber attacks? We have that a cyber attack is launched by cyber criminals. They use this technology, their technology, against a single or multiple targets. There are different methods, like malware, there are phishing. I think maybe some of you have heard of phishing. That is just like an email from, let's say, the bank or Apple. It happens to me a lot from Apple, like for Apple, that it says you need to change your password, or you make a transaction and you need to click this link and access to this link. And it's not from the bank or not from Apple, just some attacker that would like to hack. We have the ransomware, social engineering. Social engineering, it's when they call you like, hey, we are from the bank and we are updating your information. Or hey, we are from the bank and there is a suspicious transaction here. So I need your PIN and password. And it's like, why would you need my PIN and my password? This happened to me like one time, and they called me, the bank, and told me this, and it was like, hey, we need your PIN and your password. And I was like, why would I give you my password and my user? It was like, we needed to check if this was real or wasn't real. And I was like, you're calling me. What? I hung up the phone, I called the bank, and it was an attacker. They wanted my information from the bank, the password and all of that, just to access. And these cyber attacks can be part of nation states cyber warfare or cyber terrorism efforts. They can be political attacks, or like just to benefit from it, to take advantage. Okay, so we have three main classes of hackers. We have the black hat. These ones only to exploit individuals for money, prestige, or incriminating information. They don't have permission to do anything of this. They just do it and seek money for it. Like, I take your computer, you cannot use it. Just you have to give me 1 Bitcoin, and I will give you your computer back. We have the white hat, that they have explicit permission for all of this. They can penetrate testing of its leak. These are like, they're called the ethical hackers, and they're usually the people that graduate from school from cybersecurity engineer. And then we have the gray hat, that are in the middle of black and white. So we have that they look for ways to expose wrongdoing, revenge, or harass target. This is mainly like social. They want something back from someone that hurt them. And also they do this to companies, like to find a leak. And I will tell the company, hey, I found a leak. If you want me, I can fix it for you and work for you. Okay, so let's see three of the latest cyber attacks. We have the Microsoft Exchange server. This was an attack in United States. It was in United States. Microsoft has servers that are for all the mails. So the companies that pay Microsoft for the email, they have the server with all the information. This attack deletes some information, or just couldn't use their mail normally. This was, they say this was China. They don't have like a lot of proofs, but United States, the UK, and the United Nations says that it was China. We have the SolarWinds Sunburst attack. This was an attack made by an update of a software. So we have a software that is SolarWinds Sunburst, and it had an update. The companies did the update, but it was a Trojan that was inside. Trojan is a virus that it seems like is part of the update of the system, but it wasn't. So they gave access to all the information on all of the computers that had this system. This was, they said that it was Russia, and they have a fine ongoing for this attack. Then there is the U.S. energy pipeline. This was, I think it was mainly in Texas. A system of energy pipeline was down. It couldn't work, so they couldn't do anything. I think there was an alert in the United States like for 2 weeks because they couldn't distribute the gas. This was attributed to an attacker, but he said it wasn't political. So he wasn't seeking for some revenge or something like that. He only wanted money. They only wanted money. And they will give all back. Okay, sorry. A little bit that why I chose these three is because the first one is like from a country that says, let's say it's China, but it isn't confirmed, but they say that it's China to Microsoft, but in the United States, and there isn't a fine or something like that. In the SolarWinds attack, there is a fine ongoing with Russia, and the last one is mainly because of money, because of people, some people that wanted money and wanted the company to give them. Okay, so let's see the COVID-19 impact in cybersecurity. We have the first one is that the FBI reported 300% of increase in cyber crimes. So yes, why is this? Because the pandemic made us all go to the house and use the computer, use the cell phone a little bit more than we used to. And in the companies, to work like to a server, we had to connect to remote desktop. So in that cases of connections, the attackers take advantage of it and connect them too. We have that COVID-19 is created for 238% rise in cyber attack on banks in 2020. There are confirmed data breaches in the healthcare industry increased by 58% in 2012. So the first one that the attackers used was all banks and healthcare. And this is a little bit like delicate because healthcare, we talk about, in the banks, we talk about money and it hurts people's pockets. But healthcare, we are talking about the healthcare of the person if someone can die or live because of this. Then we have the Americans lost more than 97.39 million to COVID-19 stimulus check scams. So I think we all know that in the United States, there is a stimulus check that if you are not working because of COVID-19, the government will give you a check. But there was like calls by this social engineering. I call you and I tell you like, hey, I have here your stimulus check, but I have to confirm that you are the person that the check must go to. So you need to give me fair to make a transaction for $50. And then they have $97.39 million. Well, 500,000 of Sumo users' accounts were compromised and sold on dark web forum in April 2020. I think almost everybody used Zoom in March, April of last year. Mainly myself in work because we used to go to meetings in person and now we needed to do something else. And the first one was Zoom. And there is about 500,000 Zoom users accounts. That is information from a lot of people. Okay, so let's see for statistics that I liked, well, not I like, but I need to take here, is that 48% of malicious email attachments are Office files. These are like, let's see a coworker, a new coworker that I don't know of. And it's an email that says, hey, the new coworker, I need you to complete this form. And you just open the email, the attachment. So, and the virus is already in your computer. And if it is in the same like Wi-Fi or the network of some others, it can infect to all of your coworkers. Then you have the 34% of data breaches involve internal actors. This is something that is pretty difficult to prevent because we can have the best cybersecurity technologies, and this is something that I talked about at the beginning. If we have the best technology, but the human resources doesn't want to, they want, I tell you, I will pay you if you give me this information. And they say, okay, no one will know. 34% of the data breaches is because internal actors, and that is something that makes you think like you have to take care of your workers. Then you have the 65% of groups use spear phishing as the primary infection vector. Okay, so phishing was the email that says that is from someone, from some company, the bank, and you click it, and just with the click, you have the virus in your computer. You may not have it if you have an antivirus, but I don't think that most of the people use antivirus. Then we have that almost 18,000 is lost every minute. $18,000 is lost every minute to a phishing attack. With this, I just want to tell you that everybody can be part of a phishing attack. I received like in a month, like 10 phishing attacks by email, and I know how to identify them, but not everybody can. Okay, the big five must know about in cybersecurity right now. We have that worldwide spending of cybersecurity is going to reach $133.7 billion in 2022. The cybersecurity is growing, and I'm part of this growing of this area, and I see that a lot. There is a lot of jobs, there's a lot of companies that need cybersecurity engineers. Hackers attack every 39 seconds, on average 2,244 times a day. That's a lot. This is what I was saying, that everybody can be part of an attack. So I can be part of an attack, of a cyber attack, and I almost was one of them. Data breaches exposed 36 billion records in the first half of 2020. Okay, this is a lot of records, and I'll say that in comparison with 2019, it says that it was 6 billion records, and now it's almost 10 times, almost 5 times what it was in 2019. That's a lot. Then 71% of breaches were financially motivated, and 25% were motivated by espionage. The espionage is mainly between governments or companies. It's like, okay, this company is better than me, so I need someone in the inside. I need to espionage what they are doing, so I can do them first, and I can be better than them. And then we have that average annual security spending is $2,691 per employee. So per employee, we spend almost $3,000, so it can be secure. Okay, so based on this, what I was telling you about the people, there is people that doesn't care too much about the security, because they say, I don't have important data in my computer that I access or someone can access, so I don't care like for it. But we have access in average 11 million files. Maybe there are files that you don't access, you don't use, but you have access to and you don't know it. And that's the thing, because you don't take care of the cybersecurity of your computer, or you don't use the antivirus, you don't use anything of this. They hack you, and they hack your company or let's say your network, and can go to the computer of your dad, your parents. So, and we have that 95% of cybersecurity breaches are caused by human error. This is what I was telling you about. So 95% of cybersecurity breaches, it's a lot. And this is mainly because of human error. That's why I told you that technology isn't all. Devices is not all cybersecurity. We need people to know that it is important that they take care of the cybersecurity. Okay, so how to prevent? Let's say how to prevent the cyber attack. I I think these five are like the mainly. They could be like a more, but these are like the most important. First, we have to create cybersecurity awareness. The cybersecurity awareness is because not everyone thinks that cybersecurity can happen to them. Or let's say me, I know that with my knowledge, it's a little bit difficult to receive an attack. But my grandma or my mom, my dad, they can be an attack to them, and they wouldn't know because they don't have the knowledge. So it is important to create the cybersecurity awareness. The second is that keep your software and system fully up to date. This is pretty important because there are patches in every update that they do. And the patches is because something wasn't working and now it's working. And if you don't do the update, an attacker can hack you because of this patch. Use antivirus software, please. This is super important. People sometimes say, okay, but an antivirus, I have to pay and I don't have the money. Okay, not always you have to pay. There are some free antivirus software that are trustful. They have like publicity, but there are better, like there is people that use cracked antivirus software, and it's better if you use a free antivirus than a cracked one. Then you have that, please don't settle for easy to remember password. It's not like, okay, I don't care too much about the password, I need to remember. You have one password for everything you do. So my password is Robert123. It's like, if someone access to just one of your accounts, could be in every account. And the last one is that you have to take your time to do the backups and to check your antivirus. When you use the antivirus, you know that there is like a check that you do in the computer. It's just a click, and the click, you have to wait 5 minutes, and it does by itself. And it says, okay, there are 3 threads, if you want to delete them or what to do. And the backups, it's if you have a cloud or a device with some information, just check it that you have the information up to date, and if you that you have it there. Because some people think that they did a backup, but I did like 1 year ago, and the information is not in the it's not up to date. So if I lose everything, I lose everything from the last year. And this is basically how to prevent a cyber attack. This is mainly my presentation. I have 3 questions for you, but I don't know if first you have some questions. Okay, there is a hand from Santiago.
I actually have various questions.
Okay.
But first of all, I wanted to ask you, what would be like your ranking for the best antiviruses? And also, would you recommend the McAfee antivirus?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be my first one, but almost every antivirus, you can use it. There's Kaspersky, there is McAfee. I think I have, there are like 360. There are a lot. There are a lot. You have to do a little bit of research, because you cannot like, okay, this is free, I will take this. There are a lot of websites that can tell you. I recommend McAfee, Kaspersky, I think, and 360 cybersecurity is one that is free. I think it is Chinese, and that makes people like doubt if they should use it or not. But I recommend it if you don't have like the money to take one of the antiviruses. I don't know if you can give me just a minute, because I didn't put the light on, and I can see almost anything. That's it, Santiago. Or
Yeah, I also have another question. Like in the iPhones, should I install an antivirus or is it
never,
not necessary?
never, not necessary.
Okay.
iPhone. I don't even think that in Android you should use it. You should just like there is a security of the cell phone that don't download um, suspicious apps, and with that you will be okay.
Okay. And what do you think about and I know that this is not exactly like cyber attack, but it's still like privacy on the web. What do you think about the policies that were earlier in the year about WhatsApp? That they were saying that like, I think that
Okay,
your account was linked to Facebook and all of that.
I like that, but I have a question that is related to that. So let's take it. We will see that in the questions. Okay, Ignacio.
Yeah, I know. First of all, like, thank you for the input. I do believe that cyber attacks are one of the most prominent problems in the 21st century. I have a question about blockchain. So, like, do you think that blockchain is one of the most viable and ultimate solutions to prevent cyber attacks?
Yes, but no. Cyber blockchain are like the latest technology, and we have it will grow exponentially. So right now it is okay, and it is secure, but I wouldn't trust like everything right now for that kind of security. Uh, I think that if it grows well, uh, it will go and be one of the most secure things that we will have. But right now, I wouldn't like trust 100% of it in it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that
Okay.
answers my question.
Feli.
I have a question. When there's somebody, like, for example, let's say that an American hacks a Chinese company and they are able to track where this hack comes from, and they find the American, but this American didn't do it for like government issues, he just wanted money. Do they charge the country with a fine
No.
still, or just the person?
No. Here is the person like the one that I was talking about, China. They saw that it was connected to the government, and that is why they wanted to put a fine on it, and Russia as well. But not because if I do an attack here to China, they will say, okay, let's put a fine on Costa Rica. That does not work like that. Okay, Vanessa.
Hello. I don't know if my internet is well. That is why I have my camera off. But I want to ask you, like, what is necessary to when we can stop with the security? For example, I have a cousin that he don't enter to any suspicious page. He don't want or he don't like to use their real name into an email account. And I don't know. I think that's too.
I can hear you like too well. There is like something with the microphone. I can hear you well.
Maybe there. Can you hear me better?
Try again.
Está entrecortada. Entrecortada.
Is it better now? I think it's my internet.
It is worse.
Maybe you can type it in the chat.
Uh-huh. Or try again, because I think it could be a pretty long question. Feli, you have another question?
Yes, I wanted to ask you if you believe that this new form of money, like bitcoins, represent a greater threat to cybercrime, because as it is digital money, would it be like easier to steal or falsificate?
No, this is part of what Ignacio was telling me. I think that right now, the blockchain is one of the most secure things that we have. I don't know if it will be in the future, but right now it is pretty secure. So I think that all that these like Bitcoin and all cryptocurrencies are a little bit threatening because all of the dark web use it, but insecurity like falsificate, it's pretty rough right now. I don't think someone is capable of falsificate this. I don't know if Vanessa is typing, or are you still there? Nope. I will go then with okay, you're here. If you want, try to speak. Let's see if I can hear you. Okay, Santiago.
Do you think that Windows Defender, the antivirus that comes with the computer, is it good or bad?
Okay, not good or bad. I think it's okay. I think it says a lot that there are a lot of memes that it's like like you're in the wall like this and Windows Defender cannot see you. It like just do the simple work. It does not do something like that's why you need to have an antivirus, a real one. Windows is not for antivirus, so it's okay to let it on, but it's not the best like just have the Windows Defender. Okay. Feli.
Yes. Do you believe on the possibility of cyber war, for example, between Russia and the US, who have like recently met and tried to reach an agreement, but kind of didn't?
I don't think that we are there right now. Could be in a future, but I don't think that cyber attacks are like are the interest between governments. Like I don't see that we will then see in the history like a cyber cyber war. I don't think so. It could be, but right now I don't think so. In the future, this can be worse. So it can be, but right now I don't think so. Vanessa, are you there or continue with the questions? I think I continue, and if you want me, at the end we can make the question. Okay. So the questions. Okay, whoa. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I will read the question. I would like to know when is too much security. For example, I have a relative who does not like to have social networks or put their bank accounts on any devices. Too long password, not even use their real name to create an email, and I consider it stream and that it is not necessary. So that is what you recommend the most, apart from using different passwords and antivirus and being careful in the internet pages that we open. Okay, so I think that yes, that is not too much security, but it is like you're not using then the website and the network in your favor, because let's say the e-commerce, let's say I want to buy something online, I need to put my credit card, but something is something that I want, so I don't have to go to the mall and to pay for it there. I just wanted to come to my house and ready, or like something that is more simple, like Uber Eats. Uber Eats has my credit cards, and I trust it. But I trust it because there is a company behind of it that says you trust me, and if something happens, I can answer to you. But I don't think that it's okay to create an email with a different name and using different passwords. Using different passwords, yes, but doesn't. If you don't have social network, that's on you. That's really personal, because some people don't like the social network. But for security, it's okay to take care of what I publish on social network. Okay, so the questions, the first one, you're welcome. The first one that I put here was if white hackers are considered good and black hat hackers are considered bad, what are the gray hat hackers?
Can you remember us what was the gray hacker?
Okay. Let's see if Santiago can answer, and I will clarify a little bit. Santiago.
I think that the gray hat hackers, they are still like more on the bad side, and they're so negative because they want to get an advantage on what they're doing. Like they're not helping in any way because they take revenge against someone who did something bad to them, or they want like a benefit from the attack that they made.
Okay.
So I would say that still, like, even though they're not as bad as the black hat hackers, they're still more on the negative side. I wouldn't say they're neutral.
Okay. Ignacio?
I think that like gray hat hackers like do sometimes violate laws and like break general ethics, but they don't mess like directly and in such a high intense way with people's money and from like confident information. For example, Juan broke to the FIFA servers to patch a player. Like that violates the ethics of FIFA, but it's not to the extent of black hackers. I think that's the concept.
Okay, yes. Camila, you asked, right?
No, it's okay. I already got the concept.
Okay, so I'm a little bit like with Ignacio, because this is very personal. Santiago, I think you're right too. Both of you are right, because this is a little bit more of ethics and what is right and what is wrong. The gray one, let's say he doesn't want to attack someone and benefits at all. Like a little bit, yes, but maybe it's a little bit more like revenge. That I want to take care, I want to take revenge from something, or the thing that I said with the companies that, okay, I know that I can penetrate your system, and I can tell you, I penetrated, and I say, hey, I know that you have this leak, and I can help you with that. While you take it like that for a better, for making things better, I agree with gray hackers, but it is pretty debatable. Feli.
But gray hackers can also like use this information that they gain from the companies to blackmail them, and I don't think that is ethic.
Sure, but if you do that, aren't you a black hacker, a black hat? What do you think?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, let's go with the next one. This is more about like the social network that you were telling, like WhatsApp and all of that. Are you in favor or against the manipulation of your data by social media companies? Let's see what Valentina wants to say. Valentina.
I will be completely against the manipulation of my data because it's something completely private. Even though I can't expose it in social media, it's still private and it should not be manipulated by them. And well, it could take to a cyber attack, and it can lead to a massive attack.
Okay. Santiago?
I would also be against this, and I see that's the question that you asked, that you told me that it was related, because like I'm not giving the consent to the companies to manipulate my information. Well, I mean, in the terms and conditions, yes, but at the same time, like, who reads that? Honestly, I think that we should read it. But yeah, but still, I'm not giving like my consent to the companies to share my information, which is completely private, even if it's something as insignificant as my name.
Okay.
Like, it still is my information. So why would someone else manage it for me?
Okay. Ignacio.
I'm in favor, since I'm giving the data. I'm putting my confidence in the company. Like, if I don't want the company to manipulate my data to for advertisements, then I should only erase the app, and I shouldn't have created the account and inserted my data. So I think I'm giving the confidence to the company, and the company should use it. I agreed on the terms of services, so the company should use it to an extent. But if that extent surpasses ethical things, for example, selling my data to the government to track my family, and I don't know, kidnap someone, that's more that's more an issue, right? But I'm giving a consent, so I'm in favor.
Okay, so I think, in my personal opinion, it's I'm in favor, like Ignacio, because I think if you want to use the app, you have to accept that's the app. If you don't want to share your information, don't use it. Don't use WhatsApp. Uninstall it. It's part of what Ignacio says, because I trust the companies. Maybe we shouldn't trust that a lot, but I trust the company. There is something different that they can be a hacker that hacks the company and take my information, but that's different. That's not part of the company at all. It's of course they need to have cybersecurity and all of that, but I think that if you want to use that app, you need to be in favor. If you don't want it, just delete it. Sí, Santiago.
You know, I agree with your comment because even though if we don't want that, like it's what I was saying, who reads the terms and consents? So like if you use the app, then you're agreeing to that. So then you trust like the developer to not share your information like to hackers or to other people which shouldn't be having your information.
Yeah.
But I still think that the information is private. But then at the same time, like if you accepted it on the terms and consents, well, I mean, then you're basically giving them consent to do whatever they want with your information.
So if you are, let's see, it's the no one reads the terms and conditions. We should all do it, but I will be like stuck 10 days for just download an app because I will be like, I read a paragraph and I will sleep reading that because I don't even care like too much. But we can maybe, if you put in Google terms and conditions of WhatsApp, there can be a little bit of information of what is that you are agreeing to. Valentina.
Yes, I agree with you because you said before that when we post something in social media, for example, on Instagram, and we post a photo, we're actually exposing ourselves and it's our data. So we're actually passing our information, our personal data to social media. So it's kind of a contradiction to ourselves.
Let's see. I think that maybe at some age, you need to have the parent supervising, because there are people like publish everything they do, where they are always, and like if I post on Instagram where I am, Instagram won't do anything with that, right? Is someone that follows me and knows where I am and all that kind of things. But it is pretty complicated. This question, and that's why I wanted to ask, because I think that what I say, not everybody thinks that it's okay to just be in favor because it's their app. But at the end, I really think that it's just an app and you can just uninstall it. Okay, let's go to the last one. Okay, the last one is about the governments, and it's like something like that. Should the government have access to all the information related to us? And I ask this mainly because there is like in China, I think, or Japan, I don't remember right now, that there are facial recognition about camera, so they know where you are, where you're walking, and they know where you are. So are you, should they have this access to this information or not? Ignacio.
I believe that they shouldn't have it. Like they already have the basis of our identity, ID number, like the year we're born in, our names, where we live in. Like that's why we pay taxes. Like that's all in there, and the government can search us up. But for example, in a government like China, where like the public sector is basically the private sector, and everything is owned by the government, that's a different situation. Because for example, the U.S. government, the public sector is here, and the private sector is here. So that data doesn't connect, but the problem is when data connects and when China tries to manipulate, for example, news based on the private companies inserted data from the citizen. So that's when like the type of governments that's like they should be wearing to society.
Okay. Santiago.
I honestly think that like just basic information like your name and like your gender and all of that, but honestly, especially in a case with China, I don't think that they should have it, even if it's not China, because then for example, you are an enemy of the government, and then the government can find that information and like track you or hunt you down, like to try to like silence you, you could say. So, and I remember here in Costa Rica, you probably know about this because you're from here, about the UPAL that the government was doing. So then they were having like a network where they had all of your information. And I still think that that is wrong because I mean, it could bring some benefits like tracking down criminals or even with the COVID in China, like the big data, but still it's your information. So then more than like your basic information, I don't think they should have it.
Okay. Valentina.
Yeah, I also think that they should have only basic information. For example, when you Google someone, you can easily find them on the internet. But I mean, we should also have some liberty because the government tracking the citizens a lot can lead to places, as you said, like for example, China that practically is just watching everyone, or North Korea where you can just watch a movie from America because well they're banned. So that kind of things are just not fair for the people.
Okay, so here to put like with the past question, in the app question, I agree to the terms and condition. Here is basically the government saying that I have your information and that's it. You can like it or not, but I have it. So I don't think that the government should, but because of the wrong way, the wrong people can access to this. But if we take it to the part that, let's say, it's something in the street and someone was robbed and you have the information, you have the faces, but not always I think that not always the government would use this information for good. Sometimes they will just benefit themselves to make them more stronger, and this will not be like the best for the education. Well, that was the presentation taken for him. Thank you for participating, and I hope you like it.
All right, everyone, let's give please a huge round of applause to Mr. Roberth Barazarte. Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Robert, for such a wonderful talk. I believe this is always in the best interest of our participants in order for them to have more tools and be able to protect their data privately, you know, in the sense that this is also a digital program, you guys. It is super important to bear all of what Robert just said and know those things in order for you to be able to, you know, just have a wonderful experience online and be able to use it appropriately. So, Robert, thank you. I don't know if you have any final words for us today.
No, I hope like I really enjoy it. Thank you all for participating and for listening, and thank you. That's all.
All right, awesome, Robert. Then thank you so much, guys. 2 days till our opening ceremony. Well, actually less than 2 days if we count the hours. Tomorrow, well, not a little bit more than 2 days. Tomorrow we have our pre-conference meetup, so be sure to tune in as you'll get to know a little bit more about your committees and your chairs and just have a wonderful time. It's a little bit of a more social sort of interaction. So once again, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. And as always, see you around.